Hey y'all. So I'm back with another video. Today I have an amazing co-star, Shantae, my fiance, and today we are going to talk about our proposal or the proposal,
When she proposed to me.
which was what she always wanted.
Okay.
It's true. All right, the proposal. So we're engaged. We got engaged on June 2nd at 12 p.m. on the dot.
And that's interesting because you didn't plan that, right?
No,
Mm.
I just was trying to get the shit over with because I was so scared. Okay, so let's talk about the day I realized that I wanted to marry her. So I had an epiphany May 10th of 2018, which was a couple of months ago, where I was just like, I want to marry this woman because when she got home that Sunday, she had to go right back to work that Monday. So she got home Sunday evening. It was kind of like afternoon, close to the evening. And so, like a couple of hours, she had to go to work, and I had to be without her again. So after I took her, to her destination and got the little one off to school, I was just kind of around the house, and I was just like, kind of going through the motions a little bit, and it just came to me. It was just like, what you waiting for? Like, ask this woman to marry you. And so I said yes to myself about that decision. May 10th is also the day that I involved my parents. I reached out to all four of them, telling them that I wanted to marry Shantae, and they had amazing reactions, which I knew that they would, because they love her. Like, I think they love her more than they love me. But I ain't gonna say nothing about that. But, they were excited, and they were like, yes, about time, finally, which I've been waiting on. Yeah, and during that particular time, I felt like my parents were the only people that I wanted to involve with this particular decision. I chose not to involve my best friends or her best friends or even our close friends at that particular time, just because I didn't want to have to hear all these other ideas and projections and all that other excitement, because I was already kind of overwhelmed, but I was overwhelmed with excitement. I was also overwhelmed with nervousness too. And I'm so blessed to have the parents that I have, especially my daddy, because he inserted himself as if he was getting engaged. He was like, okay, what's my role? What I need to do? Where we doing this at? Who all gonna be there? I better be there. And I'm just like, well, he was so excited, and that made me even more excited.
So I'll just let me say. So I knew that we were going to New York. It was a trip that I was looking forward to. And pre-New York, proposal, I had a thought or a feeling, and I was like, what if Nika tries to propose to me while we're in New York? And I kind of just let it go at that moment because I didn't want that to be my expectation of the trip. I was really open to whatever type of fun, whatever type of love we would share while we were in New York. And I didn't want to be like, well, just because I had this thought, if it doesn't happen, then I'm going to be disappointed. So I really let it go at that point. And when the proposal actually did happen, I was completely surprised. I was not suspecting
She
at all.
was so surprised, like, what?
It's so interesting because, just being able to reflect back on the days leading up to the proposal and, that day itself, I'm able to put together a lot of stuff and, be like, oh, okay, I see what was going on, even though in the moment I completely missed it. I was like, oh, wow, yeah.
But yeah, so let's talk about your ring. Her ring. The ring. So, Shantae is a very classy woman.
Thanks.
You know, she just has like this very like just sophisticated way about her. Like, I don't know. She like somebody that wear like big pretty hats with polka dot dresses and I don't know, like just yeah. So like I knew that the ring couldn't be nothing over the top. And I couldn't afford nothing over the top.
Not right now.
Not right now. Not right now. But also I just knew that the ring needed to be something that would match her style. And so we were on the hunt for something very simple but elegant with a little bit of class and a little bit of uniqueness to it. And I knew I wanted it to be special, but I was also trying to be realistic, you know, because we both are young 20-year-old women. Well, we're in our 20s. You know, we really still babies out here, you know, just, you know, starting our careers and stuff. So, you know, we ain't boiling just yet. You know, so I wanted to be realistic about, you know, what I could afford for her as well. Decided on was a ring from Tiffany's. And I felt like she deserved that ring too. She's a very special person. And yeah, I had my parents bring it to New York because I couldn't bring it because she would have saw it. Because I'm just, I can't, I couldn't trust myself. So I went to the Tiffany's in DC and I actually had the ring fitted on my hand because we wear the same ring size.
Imagine that.
And we wear the same ring size, and so I went and got the ring and I tried it on, and I had them order it and ship it to the Tiffany's in Atlanta, and then they shipped it to my parents' house. So my parents were so sweet, and they brought the ring up for me.
Okay.
That thing that touched their heart the most.
Oh, so okay. Do y'all know that this woman called my mama? And so my mom was thousands of miles away, but she knew what was going on. And like, I don't know, that was really, really sweet. When I found out, like, I was already really surprised, really shocked, and just like all of these other things I was feeling. But to know that she called my mom and had a conversation with her beforehand was very, very, very special and very, very beautiful.
I was so scared, y'all. So I knew that I had to be ready and be prepared and be sure. Like, out of anything, I had to be sure because that's her baby. This is her baby, and I'm asking her if I can have her daughter as my own, my wife, and she hit me with them questions. Good. Her mom was for it. She was excited, and her mom has actually been able to spend time with us on a few different occasions. So she's been able to see the love that we have for each other and how we care about each other and what we think about each other and how we respect each other.
Yeah.
So that was important to her. And
yeah, and what a relief too, because I've heard some horror stories about like how parents just like, my son, my daughter, like, no, just, you know, making people's lives miserable to some extent. And I'm so grateful that neither of us have to experience that.
Yes, that felt good. So let's talk about the day of the proposal.
Yeah.
Then the plan that we initially planned didn't go through. We were going to go to the Statue of Liberty, and that's where I was going to propose to her at. But once we went online to get the tickets, there were no more tickets available. And the reason that there weren't any tickets available is because the weather actually turned on us. The weather ended up being really nice that weekend, and it was supposed to be rainy all weekend. To come up with a plan B and C. And so, like, we literally were planning the day in front of her about what we were going to do without any context for her. Mm-hmm. So, like, we were just planning the day, and me, my stepmom, and my dad knew what we were planning, and she just was kind of chiming in, like, oh, yeah, maybe we should go here. And I'm thinking, like, we going to this place for you, honey. Like, So finally we decided on Times Square. So everybody got dressed and got situated. We went down to Times Square and my daddy had his good camera, as he liked to say. He went to his friend's house the night before we came to New York to actually get a few pointers on how to get the best
really
footage.
I didn't know that.
How to get the best pictures while I was going to be proposing to her. So that was my daddy. He's so amazing. I love him so much. Went over to I guess you would call it. I call it the Broadway stairs because that's where people wait to get their Broadway tickets from, or at least until it's time for them to walk over to Broadway to actually go in for the show. So we were standing on the stairs. I was standing in front of her. She was standing behind me, and I'm really tiny compared to her. So she didn't even see what was happening.
I really didn't. I'm standing up above her, just looking around at, what people are doing around me. I'm playing behind her head, throwing up bunny ears, whatever. And then, while all of this is happening, her dad slips her the ring box. So I'm posing in pictures with my engagement ring, and I didn't realize it until after.
Yeah. My phone for me, and I just turned around, and she had sunglasses on, so I couldn't really see her eyes, but I knew that I was looking into her eyes.
You were.
And I just, looked up at her, like, can you go sit down, please? Thank you. I know you want to play. I just looked up into her eyes, and we always say sweet things to each other, so she kind of just thought I was just saying sweet stuff to her.
Yeah.
And I said, a few, sweet things, and I was just telling her, what she meant to me. And then I stepped back, and I was like, will you marry me? And she was like, what?
Stop playing.
Stop playing. And I'm like, I'm for real.
Right, and she was kind of like, I know you're not finna leave me out
and
here.
People looking. And then she looked, and my dad was like, it's a ring. And she was like,
Yes.
Yes, I will marry you.
It wasn't, I think it was just the shock, because like I said, I was completely not expecting that to be the conversation we were having at that moment. And so I knew something was going on because the way that we were taking pictures at first, her parents started moving around and shuffling around. I'm like, what are y'all, why are y'all adjusting yourselves? And then you over here
in the moment,
looking all I
was so
couldn't
scared.
Breathe.
My
and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot happening.
Catch up to the moment, but yes.
Yes, she said yes. And then we took pictures, and we didn't cry. We laughed, actually. We were cracking up laughing. And my stepmom was like, you guys didn't cry. I guess they thought that we were going to, which was them to be all up in it. But we didn't cry. We laughed. And then we went to the Renaissance Hotel.
Yeah.
When we were actually walking over to the hotel, we were holding hands, and she was kind of shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
She was kind of shaking a little bit. I just felt so really finally.
I just kept looking at her because, I mean, even though I said yes and I was mindful and conscious of my yes, that whole day I just still was in some sort of state of disbelief. Did this really just happen? Looking down, oh yeah, I have a ring on. Staring at her, oh yeah, she did just. So that day was very, very interesting. Mm-hmm. The conversation that I wanted to have with my wife to be, and that moment, even though people the bathroom, that was a very special.
And it was a nice
moment.
Bathroom.
It was a nice bathroom, but that was a very special moment that we share, and I think, it's important in my memory of the day, the way that I remember what happened that day.
Yeah, I always think about that moment that we shared in the bathroom. Where we just exchanged, and then we came back, and then my dad was like, y'all cried in the bathroom, didn't y'all? And we was like, yeah. He was like, that's some bullshit.
He was mad,
because he wanted to capture that
moment.
That was our proposal, and we went to the art show that night, and my dad was so pressed to tell people.
Right.
We couldn't even tell people. It was his job.
He was like, yeah, they got engaged today.
Like
a few hours
ago.
Fiance. This is my daughter, and this is her fiance.
They got engaged
He's
today.
very proud.
Yeah, my daddy is a very proud man.
And I was very proud. I was glowing, and it was cool.
I kind of thrived in that moment, too. And people were excited. They treated us very well. We got offered so many ideas and so many suggestions, and we even got offered a honeymoon trip.
Yep, and yes,
that we would love to take.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Everybody was excited. Our notifications was blowing up. Our phones were blowing up. Text messages, phone calls, everything you could think of. People were like over the moon, excited to be involved. My phone was going crazy all day, all the next day, and then that week. People were just calling, just ready. So when's the date? Like, we just got engaged like 2 seconds
2 minutes ago. Like, all right.
Well, yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, she's a great co-star.
I am. You know, let her know if y'all want to see more of me.
Yes, please let me know if y'all want to see Shantae come more on the page or be more on my channel. We'll definitely, please let me know. Let me know how, and if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me in my DMs or in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that notification button. I love you guys, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.